Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You're watching my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm here doing a review of Iyanla Fix My Life, Broken Housewives of Reality TV. So this episode we had two housewives. We get one is Sharice, that comes from West Housewives of Potomac, and then we get Veronica, that came from the Second Wives Club. They both have similar background story, where it is that they both are suffering from divorce, but they kind of stuck of the aftermath of the divorce that they was going through. They're stuck in between, stuck in the way of not not being advancing their life and always stuck in the past, not moving forward, not elevating themselves after divorce. So they kind of stuck in that pain and the misery and what happened, what shouldn't be done, and what made my marriage fail and everything. So this is exactly, there's a lot of stuff that going on now. A lot of women go through a lot of issues about marriage, and that they stay in relationships, they stay in a marriage because they don't feel, they feel a lot of things. They feel loneliness. They don't want to be alone. They feel that they repeating the same patterns of their parents. They like the materialistic things. They like the experience of the marriage, and so long away, they lose themselves in the process. They lose their identity, what they want, who they are in a person, who they are themselves in a relationship, in a marriage. And once you lost yourself, you so developed in the idea of the reality of the glamorous lifestyle of the marriage, instead of thinking the reality is that you are not happy or you're not fulfilling, and then your marriage crumble, and then you feel like you stuck and you can't go anywhere because you are broken about your divorce. So this is exactly what's the issue between Sharice and Veronica. It's like they don't know where to go. They're in this loophole and they keep repeating the pattern. Loophole. It's like I got divorced. Now I cannot move forward. So we have two housewives. We have Sharice and we have Veronica. Not housewives. Two reality TV stars, Sharice and Veronica. First we start with Sharice. And Sharice said she met this guy and she kind of married a guy, the person that she didn't really want to deal with, or she had like, of course, qualities that we all have. Like, I won't marry somebody who has this. I would marry somebody who has that. I would not marry somebody like this. So she said she would not marry somebody who had previous marriage, who got married before, who have children, or who was in the sports entertainment business, because I guess she got some reservation about that. But she ended up marrying somebody in that category. Now, she said she'd been married with this guy for 20 years, and within the 9th year, he just lost interest. Lost interest with her, and when he got lost interest, he just moved out the room they used to share with and went to the guest room, and she said she followed him. So it's like that neediness of the marriage, the neediness of not letting it go, the neediness of making things work, even though it's toxic, even though you know you should leave, and it's broken. The fact that she kept following the man after she know that he just lost interest of her, like he didn't want to be with her anymore, it's the fact that it's kind of damaged her self-identity, damaged who she is, and lost who she is as a woman, and stayed in this helpless marriage. Now, she felt like she stayed because she didn't believe in divorce. She said she no matter what, she got to work it out. Now, understanding when you get married with somebody, the last thing you want to do is divorce. Because divorce is a painful thing, it's a battle, it's a struggle, it's something, it's a heated battle between two spouses, especially if the relationship was rocky and sour. Really, really people get divorced because they feel like that's it, the marriage just run this course and that's it. They just want to move their own separate lives. But usually when you get married, the end goal is the way how you fall apart from each other is death, not divorce and move forward. But sometimes the relationship and the marriage doesn't work out, so you get divorced. But in Sharice's eyes, because she didn't believe in divorce, it devastated her that she got the divorce from the person that she was dealing with, and now she reaping the benefits that she was hoping that the marriage would last, and she was hoping that the marriage would stay together. Despite what's going on, she hoped that she wouldn't got divorced, and since she didn't believe in it, that divorce crushed her. And So after she was saying all of this, Iyanla was like, yes, you tell me a lot of things, but why are you really here? And that's when Cherie started to break it down and say, you know what, I'm here because I lost myself in the marriage. She said, now we're getting somewhere. Because yada yada, yes, you could say, oh yes, got divorced. I didn't believe with divorce, and he got divorced, and I messed up, and he lost interest, or something like that, yada yada. That's like surface thing. What's the real reason why you here trying to get help? It's basically she lost herself. She lost herself, and she didn't know who her identity is. It's like it's very common a lot of women who does that, and it's very common a lot of women go through these relationships. They go in marriage feeling that they need to please, or they got this idea of the marriage, and now when that idea is broken and it's not satisfying, they feel like they lost themselves. And not only that, they feel so developed into their man and not focusing on themselves. It's like when you go to a relationship, when you go to marriage, some people get married out of fear of something that they lacking, like if they're insecure, they loneliness, they don't have money, they want to marry rich or something. Something they lack, they find somebody to complete theirs. And when they find somebody to complete theirs, they want to get that, but also change the way how the dynamics is. And that's how it is. If you find somebody, if you're lonely, if you find somebody to feel your loneliness, you always going to want to be attached to that person. And after a while, that person may not want to be around with you because the cleanliness you becoming, and the idea that you're always going to be around, the idea you can't be by yourself, the idea that no matter what, you need this man, and that's like damaging because you are not focused on healing yourself. You're not focused on worrying about who you are in relationship in a marriage. And I tell everybody, and also like this, just like the famous RuPaul saying, if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? You need to love yourself. You need to find out who you are to be a better person in a relationship, in a marriage. Yes, marriage is hard work, but it don't have to be that hard. It's hard, but it don't have to be that damn difficult, as I'm saying. So she said throughout the marriage and everything, he been through infidelity. Starting to the 8th and 9th year of the marriage, it's infidelity issues. He been cheating, and that's like a common thread of a lot of marriages, that women get married to these guys, and infidelity is maybe one of the cause of why the divorce is happening, because they feel that they lost interest with the woman, so they decided to go cheating on them, and then they know that you're not going anywhere, so you sticking around, and then they, after a while, they feel like they don't want to be with you anymore. They want to be with the mistress and stuff. So the woman stays, and she stays, and it's not effective in their well-being. It's damaging. And then it's especially worse when you have children, and then the children see that pattern of what you're going through, and they display that same pattern. And this is exactly what happened, because Sharice mentioned that her mom was like that. Her mom was clinging to the man and everything, and she stayed in the marriage because she didn't want a divorce. And as she's repeating that same pattern of clinging to the divorce and clinging to the marriage with the man that she knows that is toxic, is wrong, and she just can't let go. She accepted it. So by accepting that, it's like she put that in her well-being, that this is the reality of my life. And since that fell apart, what do I have left? And which is like, what you're trying to get to understand is that your life doesn't end when you get that divorce. You continue on your life. You just got, it's out of you to get out that unstuck responsibility. It comes from the mind and your body. Once your mind is clear, and once you have a positive outlook of continuing bettering yourself, then everything will rest well, will be better for you. But if once you're psych yourself is saying that nothing will get better, and this is like the result, a cause of your, like your divorce is cause of this, then you always go have that loop, and that loop of feeling what you ever feel, your negative emotions, negative feelings you have about the divorce of the marriage, divorce. So Iyanla gave her exercise, and it was a wallpaper of how she felt about herself. Who am I? And they felt as key points, and they asked her to fill out the paper. And then she went to see Veronica. Veronica is a similar story background, but the only thing is that Sharice is older than Veronica. Veronica, I think she was in her 30s or something, or early 20s, something like that. But Sharice is like 50s, right? So they have different age bracket, but they kind of experience the same hardship in their marriage. So Veronica been married for 5 years, and she said that her marriage is falling apart, and it's kind of wrecked her life, basically. And she felt that way within a year and a half into the marriage. So I was like, wow. No, year and a half ago of a marriage. So 3.5 years, everything was okay. But what happened the last 18 months that caused you to change, that caused this feelingness? And she said it was cheating. Same thing like Sharice's marriage, infidelity, cheating. And she said she lost count how many cheated, and she regrets she stayed with him after the first cheating. And that's the thing, is that cheating is a very common denominator of a lot of failing marriages, because you get married, you say you're going to spend your life with this person, but then you cheat on your spouse with somebody else. And it may be a million one reasons why the person cheated. But cheating usually causes a lot of marriages to fail. And then sometimes women stay with the man after they cheated, because they, whatever they feeling that they lacking in themselves, they feel that they still getting that in the marriage. So even though the person's still cheating, they may still have that materialistic lifestyle. They still may have that feeling of somebody being with them. They may feel that the feeling of just not want to start all over, just want to stay and want to stick it out. Because somebody don't want to start over. They don't want to do all the work again. And the fact that you spend too much investment into the marriage, you feel like you should still get something out of it, even though it's toxicity to you, towards you. You feel like you should still get that outcome from your marriage. So women stays. They end up staying, and they know they should just leave, but they say it's hard, and it's not like Iyanla said. It's not really that hard, but you chose to stay. Same like you choose to stay. Was it not hard for you to stay? It's not hard for you to leave as well. But you decide to stay and stick with the cycle, knowing that it's damaging towards yours. So continue with Veronica. She said she should know better about when she became his fourth wife. And it's like he been married 3 marriages ago. So it was like, he had a pattern of marriage and divorcing. What is about him particularly that he can't be faithful? He can't keep his wife. So knowing that pattern, you should have not gotten in a relationship. You got not being married with him. You should never marry the guy or get in a relationship with him, knowing he got 3 previous marriages. And if the marriages has ended in death, there is something that he's been doing that is not working for his relationships, and why it keeps failing. So you his fourth wife, and you thought something would be different by marrying him, which it hasn't been. I guess he's been cheating throughout the whole relationship. That means he's been cheating on his old relationship with his previous marriages, and he competing that pattern, and he's a habitual cheater. But you accepted that behavior for every reason. You accepted that, and now you feel like your marriage, your life is wrecked because of divorce. No, your marriage is triggered. Your life is triggered by the divorce, but it's not because of divorce. Now, then she explained that she noticed that something was up with this mistress. He probably humiliated her. He got this mistress in her house, got her mistress posting her stuff on her sons and social media. It's crazy. It's like they teenagers now, but it's like ridiculous how he flaunting this mistress, and it's like she just was flaunting this mistress around her, and she didn't like that. Now, but when she was saying that, Iyanla picked up on that she has no emotions. Like, she was not tearing down, she was not crying. Not saying that everybody needs to cry or something like that, but when she was saying this experiences, I felt bad for her. I was like, wow, you in this marriage, and then you got this husband of yours, supposed to be your husband, flaunting his mistress all over you, putting in the house. You know this lady, and then he ended up being with her, and he's not dealing with you like that. but you don't have no emotions. But she said she kind of felt numb about it because in her past, just like the family pathology that Iyanla keeps saying, it's a pattern. She said her mother was kind of weak for staying in a marriage with her father, and he used to do the same thing to her mother, and she didn't like that. But so she felt like that her mother is weak in doing that, so she ran from her problems at her home life. And then she kept running and running, don't know what she running to. She ran back into the same pattern that she repeated, that she became her mother. So that's exactly the issue, is that you running from your past experiences, your past, not leading to what's going to happen, that you became that person that you running from. You became your mother, you became your father, you became whoever the person you running from, and then you repeating that because you haven't dealt with that when you was younger. So both Sharice and Veronica had childhood experiences that they were stuck way before they got into marriage. They were stuck from that. They were stuck on feeling that, oh yeah, my parents went through this thing, so this is what I'm internalizing that as well. That's what I think marriage should be. Marriage should be that I should be cheated on. Marriage should be I should be talked upon on. I should be being materialistic. I should like the experience of marriage. Not about helping yourself, but the fact that you staying because you repeating a pattern that you be seeing, and that's what's something that you haven't been taught. You haven't been taught what a proper marriage is. So you see a broken marriage. You ran from that broken marriage that you have seen to thought that you would get something better, and then end up getting married and becoming that person you ran from. So it's like a cycle, and if you don't break that cycle, it could trickle down your kids, because Sharice and Veronica both have kids, and it's like, how is it different from how you teaching your daughter how the marriage should be? Because she sees you now going through this stuff, and how you are is not helping you with your daughter when she needs to go through experiences. Your mother did this, you became your mother, and now your daughter will become you if you don't fix this and work about what's the problem within yourself, so you can fix it, so your children are going to do better. Now it came about with Veronica's children, about her kids, right? Iyanla asked her, what's the scariest thing about this marriage thing that you're going through? She said the scariest thing is that her children seeing the truth about their mom. And Iyanla said it's already too late, they already seen it. She said, what you said that's like really damaging is scary to me. But they said they have already seen it. Children is not stupid. Like I was saying, a lot of adults feel like children doesn't know or doesn't understand a lot of things, or doesn't don't have the capacity to know things. Stop teaching children are advanced these days. They see things, they learn things, they repeat the patterns that they see. And at the early on, when you know your children can understand something, that's when you need to sit down and talk to them. That's when you need to show them. It's like you so developed in within yourself. When you have children, you can't be so selfish. And the fact that once you're going through, they mimic that. So Veronica, I think they said she got 3 boys, and now all her boys is in a marriage where they're seeing that the father is kind of like cheating on the wife and disrespecting the wife, Veronica, and not being there, and she's staying in relationships. They can internalize that and see that that's how marriage should be, and that if she's not willing to work on herself and develop and show a proper healing, how can she help her boys show that who's to be a better man, how to be a man, what's to do, what not to do, what is a perfect relationship? Because you as a woman stayed in this broken relationship. So how are you teaching your son that if they get a woman or girlfriend like that, that it's not okay? But they see their mother doing that. So if they see you doing that, they think that's okay behavior. So it's like, it's a pattern if you can't break that. So it came a point is that Iyanla asked Veronica, what if she was saying, what if the father get custody of the boys? And she said, oh, I would die for that happen. And she said, oh, you would die. She said, what if the kids with the father? Why you don't still give the kids to the father? She said, no, I will not have that. Why? Not what happened. And this is like exactly what Iyanla talking about with children. You didn't say nothing about him not being being a bad father. You just saying what he done to you. Now, not saying that he not gonna do that to your kids, or he not gonna be effective in raising his boys. Maybe they need the father figure, the boys, to be raised by him. Your experience of what your experience with him, not to shape the experience that they had with their own father. So Iyanla said, what if he get custody of the boys and you can free yourself? Not to say that you're not gonna be the mother, or you're not gonna be taking care of the kids, but they teenagers now. What if the boys go with the father? She would not release that control, release that. She said she fear her children would be like her, and it was like, oh, that is something. You feel that your children will be like you, that they will stay in a marriage, stay in a hopeless marriage, and repeat the pattern of what you done, that you stayed in the marriage because you feel like you like the capacity, you like the ideal of what marriage is, but not holding yourself accountable of the actions that you took yourself in a marriage, that you stayed. So you feel like your children will repeat yourself with you. So she was like, no, I can't have my kids go with him. But she said, that's doing that because you say, why? Why is the issue? He said, well, he go do this and stuff like that. No, this is what he done towards you, not towards your kids. So it's like something like that. So the next time they went back, she went to check on Sharice again, and she saw Sharice. Sharice said that she said she a woman, but before she didn't identify as a woman. And Iyanla said the first thing you should identify yourself as a black woman. It's a historical context of what a struggle of a black woman going through. Your great grandma went through pain, through struggles, through a lot of things that you haven't been going through. You sitting around with all the materialistic things. She went through the struggle. So first you need to identify who yourself is. And now she said she was to focus on her identity. There's a lot of people in relationship does. They don't focus on themselves. They focus on the experience of the marriage. So in Sharice's case, it was mostly material thing. She sold her soul for the marriage. She sold her soul into accepting the reality of getting money, getting a materialistic thing, living a lavish lifestyle. And if you have watched Potomac, that's the things we've seen in Sharice. You see that Sharice has that bougie mentality kind of lifestyle, but exactly that's not who she really is. She's not that bougie type of chick. She became that way when she got in this relationship, in this marriage, that it's the life that she was kind of gravitating towards. It was a life of faithfulness. It wasn't a life of being a long last marriage. It was a life that she enjoyed the experience that it was giving her. She enjoyed the finance thing. She enjoyed the lavish lifestyle. She enjoyed the material. She enjoyed the money. She enjoyed all of that. And when the marriage failed, she felt that she lost that, and that she had to work on working on herself to better herself when she don't have that lavish styles that she was accustomed to in a marriage. So that's what she was focused on. And then Veronica, she said she focused on the marriage about her insecurities. So because she said she had a lot of insecurities, she sought out a partner to kind of complete or kind of overcompensate for her insecurities. So maybe she was feel that she can't forget herself, or she insecure about a lot of things. Her partner was probably brave or strong, steadfast, and honest and hardworking. Something, whatever she lacked, she found somebody that didn't have that lacking mentality qualities, and she gravitated towards that. And so she gravitated towards that kind of idea of the person, of the man that she felt that could complete her to overcompensate for her insecurities, that would let her downfall because she was so involved in the man and how he could help complete her, fix her insecurities. And you can't have somebody fix your insecurities. You need to fix your own insecurities. And then once you have that secured, then you can work on the relationship with someone. But if you can't do that, if you are finding somebody to complete you in a way that you are lacking, and then you want them to fulfill that lacking needs, that's cannot happen. So, so they was like the next day they was like they put them both together, and Cherie said she need to find love within herself, then finding love within outside people. And Veronica said she lost her way and she was in denying and avoidance. She was denying the fact that her marriage wasn't great for the start. She was denying that fact of she stayed in a hopeless marriage. She stayed in a marriage that she know that was doomed from doomed when he started cheating. The first time he cheated, but she was avoiding the reality of it, and so she was not focusing on. She trying to not. She tried to not deal with the consequences of the aftermath of the divorce. So she got stuck in that reality of, damn, why it happened, why this happened to me, why I didn't make it work, or something like that, or whatever her insecurities are. She stepped that, so she avoided that, and she kept avoiding it. She can't avoid it anymore because at the end of the day, you can't help anything if you are not willing to accept the responsibility of healing your own process from the divorce of the marriage. So there was that, and then they had this little sit down with Iyanla. Iyanla came in with like a house outfit, pajamas, quarters in the hair, slippers, and said, "This was stuck feel like. This was stuck feel like. You can put all the makeup, you can put all the gloss, you can put all the designer suits on. It won't feel anything like if you don't feel good within yourself. If you don't feel lively, if you don't deal with the consequences of getting out that unstuckness, is not a word, getting out of that freaking loophole. If you keep stuck in that same area, you can't get out of it if you don't work on that." So it was nice. So it was based on self-reflection, identifying yourself, get within your own identity, loving yourself, breaking the pattern of the negative emotions, and knowing what you have done. Divorce is not what caused these problems. It was triggered the stuff that you was going through. Cherie said she didn't want to be alone. So divorce triggered that loneliness again that she had, that she felt like, damn, I'm alone again. I don't have no husband. It's like that. So that's where she stayed, because even though he was going through his infidelities, he was cheating, she stayed with him all this long ass time because she didn't want to be alone. The fact that her loneliness is the factor why she stayed in marriage is something that she needs to deal with, that she needs to be okay being alone. Be okay and not being with someone. Veronica, on the other hand, she says she has a fear of, what she said, her that Cherie's she has a fear of her custody diminishing, that she has a fear of losing her son and him getting the custody. And Miss Iyanla said, what if he get custody? She said, I can't do that. He said, and now about, she said, your establishment, I would get upset. She said, I'm not asking you to go upset and everything. She said, what if the law says and the God said the custody is going to the kids? You need to learn how to surrender that. You need to learn how to let that thing go. I understand you hurt by the man, but you hurt your kids more if it's the best interest to be with the father and they deem that judgment to be with the father, that you need to learn to surrender that. You can't fight it. You can't fight it. So that's what she feared, that she would lose the custody of the kids. She said, what if the guy get the custody of the kids from this divorce? Then you just gotta deal with that, and you can work on being co-parenting with the guy. But sometimes that's a reality. You can't fight that reality. So it was a lot. It was a lot going on. They went together, and Veronica felt she felt a victim, and they look forward to. So Iyanla said, you know what? I helped you long enough and everything. I gave you some tools to work on yourself. They just need to work on get, getting out of the loop they are in after divorce. Sharice needs to learn how to learn to be alone, learn that she to define herself within a woman and herself, and learn that if she can learn to work on the inabilities, the inner demons within herself, the insecurities and stuff, she's not gonna be happy, and she will stay in that loop. And this is if this don't fix, then nothing else will help it, and nothing else will work well in her favor. Just like Veronica, and Veronica needs to learn how to accept the responsibilities of what's going on, and learn how to live her own truth, and learn how to relinquish some control over her life and not be so guarded, then maybe she will get better in herself. So it was good, and it showed that we recap that Veronica is looking forward to the future instead of dealing with the past. Because you're always looking back in the past, you're not gonna look forward to in a future sense. Sharice, that played the most emotions and stuff like that, she's not following Iyanla's advice, and she said she's gonna walk her own path. I mean, guess when Iyanla gave us advice, you don't have to follow the advice given to you. You can do your own thing, but at the same time, you need to learn that you know this is what happened, and need to work on that. And I wish them both the best, and I hope they really work on themselves and love themselves enough that they won't repeat this pattern again with another marriage. I'll talk to you all later. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next week when Iyanla Fix My Life. Peace.